Okay, Baruch Hashem, Shalom, Rosh Chodesh. What does Rosh Chodesh mean? It means a new head. Rosh Chadash, a new head. Literally it means the head of the month. The head of the month, the first day of the month. Why don't we call it Hatchalat HaChodesh? The beginning of the month. Why do we call it Rosh Chodesh? The head. Why do we call it Rosh Hashanah? The head. Why are we calling it the head? Because the head is the control center of everything. You want to get something done, you've got to use your head. Some people don't use their heads. But you want to lift up your arms, there's some brain action going on there. You want to make a decision, that's your head. You want to communicate, you're going to need your head. Your head. You want to have a vision for your life, you need your head. It's all about your head. So it's called Rosh Chodesh because it's the DNA, it's the power pack of the whole rest of the month. And how you start is very, very important. I used to play a lot of tennis. And anyone who watches tennis, the person who's serving is more likely to win the game. If you break the other person's serve, that's an amazing thing. Often in very high-level tennis matches, there's only one break of serve. Everyone's winning. Why? Because you have that advantage. You start strong, you're in the game. So this is what Rosh Chodesh is. But it means you have to have a Rosh Chadash. You've got to have a new head. You've got to see things new again and again. See yourself new. Don't define yourself by the past. Don't define yourself by the failures. Don't let other people define you. Say, I'm just going to be new today. I'm going to be new today. No, but I'm the one who this is, and I'm the one who does that, and I can't do this, and I'm not good at this, and I'm this, and I am this. Stop defining yourself by the past and start looking to now and the future. Or you don't have to be that anymore. No, you know what? I'm not good at getting up in the morning. Okay, so start being good at getting up in the morning. What's wrong with you? Start now. You know? I don't make my bed, I don't make my bed and I should. So start making your bed. I usually eat too much lunch and I feel bad afterwards and I'm tired and a bit sluggish. Well, don't do that anymore. No, that's just what I do. Stop just doing things. Stop just doing things. Rosh Chadash, new head. Be new all the time, again and again and again. You start again all the time. Rosh Chodesh. And Elul, this month, is the newness of the newness. Shalom. Brilliant. Thank you. Every single Chag of the year, every festival, and really every day of the year, and every minute of the day, and every second of the minute has its own powerful energy. If we really knew how to tap into the energy, we have these 10 main energy power centers, and they are called Sfirot. Sfirot, and there are 10 of them. 7 of them, 3 of them are intellectual ones. Chokhmah, Bina, and Dat. Insight, understanding, and awareness. I'm going to use those terms for now. We can use different ones. Chokhmah, Bina, and Das, intellectual. Then we have the more emotional ones. Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Chod, Yesod, whatever. I'll give you a whole class on that one day. But every day, every minute, every second can be broken down into this second is Hod, Shebenetzach, Shebegevurah, There's a whole system. So every second of the day, if you could, and it wouldn't make you OCD and weird, you could be tapping into exactly what that moment needs at that time. But for now, what we're going to do is just tap into the month. What's this month? What's Elul all about? Because each month has its special power. Each festival has its special power. Pesach has the power of freedom. Freedom from your ego and your limitations. And Chanukah has the power of finding light in the darkness. And Sukkot has the power of simcha. We got power. So what's the power of Elul leading into Rosh Hashanah? It's the power of newness, recreation, creating yourself. How do we know that? Because the universe was created in Elul. Kaf Hey Elul, the 25th of Elul, is when Hashem decided 13.8 billion years ago, or 5,784 years ago, to create the whole of finite consciousness, time-space reality. So that's, what bigger beginning could there be than that? That's the beginning. The beginning. And then Rosh Hashanah is, what happened on Rosh Hashanah? What happened on Rosh Hashanah? Adam, 6 days after the 25th of Elul, Rosh Hashanah, Adam and Chava. Man created at that point. Unbelievable. So it's the creation of the universe, and the purpose of the creation of the universe was really for the creation of human. So this is what's going on. So you have to recreate yourself. That's the plan. The plan for this month is to recreate yourself. Come and be new. 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 You're not defined by your past. You're not defined by your nature. You're not defined by your nurture. You're not defined by your circumstances. Now they might have a big effect on you, but you're not defined by them. So I'm not saying ignore them and repress them. I didn't say that. I said, but don't define yourself by them. Become aware of your nature and your nurture and your trauma and your issues. Become very aware, okay, there's this stuff, but that's not who I am, and I'm going to be new. I'm going to take these things and I'm going to become more resilient and more patient and more loving and more connected and more healthy and stronger and kinder and more loving and better than I was before. You start again, always starting new. God says at the beginning of the Torah, Na'aseh Adam, let us make man. So who's he talking to? What do you mean, let us? There's only God, and there's some giraffes. Who's he talking to? Let us make man. Few answers to this question. Rashi says he's talking to the angels, but the Baal Shem Tov says he's talking to you. Let us make man, me and you, Dov Ber. Hashem says, hey, Dov Ber, let's create you, the best you can be. And I'm going to give you issues and problems and good character traits and bad character traits and these parents and these conditions. And I'm going to give you everything you need in order to become the greatest you could possibly be. So you could be a victim to your negativity. You can take for granted the positivity, or you can say, no, these are the conditions. I've been put in a test tube. This world is a test tube. I've been put in this test tube, given everything I exactly need to become the greatest being I could possibly become. Excited? Na'aseh Adam. You and me together, we create you. We are creating. It's a co-creation. We've got co-creation happening right now. So how do you create yourself? Creation is yesh mi ayin, something from nothing. Yesh mi ayin. So that means ayin, which means nothing, means you create yourself from your connection to Ein Sof. Ayin, which means nothingness, is also very deeply connected to the idea of God, infinite God consciousness. So where do you create yourself from? You create yourself from this place of deep God conscious spirituality, rather than from your nature and your nurture and your significant things and the people and that really annoying person. I hope there's someone in the yeshiva this month who annoys you immensely. You should all be blessed to have that person who just annoys you. They're not evil. That's different. They're not evil. They just ask stupid questions. They push. They're just socially awkward. Just this guy who, because that guy can help you become a master, a mensch. That's the guy. The guy that you really like and you hang out with, that's cute, that's nice, you got a nice friend, he's not going to make you into someone great. So you've got to start becoming aware of, I get annoyed by this person. There's a new girl in my daughter's class. My daughter came home and said, the new girl's very annoying. She, whatever she does. And I said, Baruch Hashem, make her your best friend. Because you know what? She is your best friend. She is your best friend, because you know what a best friend wants? Best friend wants you to become great. And she's going to make you become great. So sit there and feel annoyed, and then take a deep breath and say, I don't need to be annoyed. I'm just choosing not to be annoyed. You know what? I get annoyed. Every time someone does that, I get annoyed. How about not getting annoyed anymore when people do that? Just why not? Well, because it's annoying, is it? Do you think the Rosh Hashiva would get annoyed by that? No. It's not intrinsically annoying. Most things that annoy you don't annoy other people, which means they're not intrinsically annoying, they're just pushing some button in you. You want that button to be pushed in order for you to take a deep breath and breathe and say, okay, what's being asked of me now? What is very important, by the way, quickly, the question what. I actually said it in the Tisha B'Av video, but they cut it out. That what part of Emunah is not asking why. Why me? Why did this have to happen? Because we don't have answers to lots of those questions, because we are finite and God is infinite. So I don't know why all these terrible, horrible things are happening. So to sit there stewing in the question why is so counterproductive. The word for wisdom in Hebrew is chokhmah, which comes from two words, koach ma, the power of asking why. Why, not why. The power of asking what. Koach ma, what? What's being asked of me? What am I meant to get from this? What is the growth opportunity in this? There's a Tehillim. In the Tehillim, David HaMelech says, Lama azavtani. Why have you abandoned me, God? Lama azavtani. Why have you abandoned me? He felt, hold on, I'm doing everything right, and everyone's trying to kill me. My son's trying to kill me. Then my son got killed. And it seems like he's completely lost his emunah. And he's saying, why have you abandoned me? There's a different religion, by the way, where the person that they call God, in his last moment, he says, Father, why have you forsaken me? And that always bothered me. I was like, when Rabbi Akiva died, he was tortured to death by the Romans. He screamed out, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. There's only Hashem. When this other Jew, by the way, was being tortured, he said, oh, why did you abandon me? It's like, hello? What? But then you read the Tehillim, it's like, Lama azavtani. I thought, oh my goodness, David HaMelech is, why have you abandoned me? He's doing the same thing. Until Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, got to learn a lot, says, no, you're reading it wrong. It's not lama, it's lema. For what? The word in Hebrew, lamed mem hey, can be read in two ways. Lama, why? Or lema, for what? For what have you abandoned me? So he's still saying, Hashem, you've abandoned me. Look at us in our situation in Israel at the moment. Feel pretty abandoned. Hashem, I'm feeling pretty abandoned. But I'm not saying, why have you abandoned me? I'm saying, lema. For what? You have abandoned, but why? What for? To get me to sort myself out and bring you back. That's what Hashem wants. Said, I'll come. When you're doing what you're doing, I got 72% of Jews don't know what Shabbat is. Hello? Get in the game. I got 72% of people who know what Shabbat is, not keeping Shabbat. I got 72% of people who are keeping Shabbat, not loving Shabbat. It's like, hello? Where are you, Jews? I wouldn't abandon you. It's just you abandoned me, man. That's why Elul, Rosh Tevot, the letters spell out Ani ledaidi v'daidi li, which means I am for my beloved, and my beloved is for me. But it means I have to be first. Because Hashem's always there. Hashem always loves us. But if we're not interested, then Hashem says, "Okay, I'll be waiting up here. I'm waiting. Whenever you're in the game, I'll come." Ani ledaidi v'daidi li. So become new in your relationship with your beloved. Become new all the time. Keep going. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam she'akol niyeh b'dvarei. Amen. Rebbe Nachman teaches that one of the major things in your avodat Hashem, in your spiritual work, is ein shum yeush. Do you know what that means? There is no despair. Now you'd say to him, that's not true. There's lots of despair. Look around you. Everyone's in despair. So he doesn't mean that there's no despair. He means there's no need for despair. It's never too late, especially for yourself. You're never out the game. You say, you know what? I've fallen so badly. There's no hope for me. Wrong. There's never no hope for you. Never. No matter what you do, there's never no hope for you. You do the worst thing ever, kill this and blah. There's never no hope for you. There's always hope for you. Always hope for you. So Hashem believes in you. Rabbi Munatecha, the first thing we say in the morning. Rabbi Munatecha. I have faith in you, says Hashem every morning. So you just got to have faith in yourself. Never too late. Never too late. So he says every time you fall, just get back up. No, but Rabbi, I've fallen so many times. Well, if you've fallen so many times, what does that mean?
You got back up.
You got up a lot. Because if you fell many times, it means at some point in between them, you had to have got back up. That's great. So you can either look at yourself as a failure or, wow, I tried to give up smoking 50 times. Which means you did give up smoking 50 times. You just then started smoking again. No, but I've proven my track record. I've been trying for 10 years to give up smoking, and I stopped for 2 weeks, and then I come back, and I stop. Great, so you stopped 50 times. Just carry on until you die. Just fail, get up. Fail, get up. Fail. That would be a pretty good life, I think. Just keep going. Go, what are you going to do? What else are you going to do? Well, just resign myself to my miserable state? I wouldn't do that. I'd rather get up knowing I'm going to fall again than just resign myself and just stay fallen. Very important. Get up and fall. There's no point trying because I know after a week or two I'm just going to fall again. Not true, because you'll have a week or two when you didn't do that bad thing. And you can feel good about yourself. And maybe this time it will work. And if it doesn't, it's still a success. Keep going. So he says this. This is actually Rebbe Natan. Ze klal gadol ba'avodat Hashem. This is a major point in the service of God. Shetzarich להתחיל b'chol pam michadash. You got to keep starting again. Just become new. כמו שאמרו רבותינו, as our sages say, כאילו היום נכנסת עמו בברית. As if today is the day that you entered the covenant with Hashem. Today is the day I became a Baal Tshuva today. Yeah, but then you went and did that tonight. Okay, so become a Baal Tshuva in the morning. And do that just again. Rebbe Nachman did this, he says. There's lots of sources when he says, I used to say, right, I'm going to start serving Hashem from now. And I'm going to be a kosher yid from now. And then in the night, or whatever happened, he fell. By the way, Rebbe Nachman's falling is he had a bit too much desire when he was eating his piece of soggy bread. He used to dip his bread into water and just suck it. So he didn't get any pleasure from Olam Hazeh. But maybe he took a little bit too much pleasure in that. So whatever. We each have our own level. You're struggling with your schnitzels and your pizzas? Fine. Every single day you should see yourself as completely new. כי באמת כל הבלבולים והנפילות הירידות שיש לאדם בכל פעם, הכל הוא על ידי ריבוי המחשבות מיום שעבר. Because the truth is that all of your confusion and all of your fallings and your descents and everything bad, every time, it's because you're thinking too much about the past. You're thinking, I did that, I'm doing this, I'm not good, this is who I am. And most people in the world are in their own eyes like old people. And when we say old people, we're talking about not physically old people. If you're a 16-year-old who's just going through the motions, you're an old person. You're old, you've lost it, you have no vitality. Who's walking around with any vitality now? Everyone's a zombie. There's a complete zombie. Get some vitality. This is how I do it. This is just what I do. This is how I react. This is how I think. These are my thought patterns. I just think like this. That's how I think. That's what I do. That's who I am. That's what I like. I sit in that chair. I eat that food. I talk to those people. This is what I do. I got the way I do it. I put on my tefillin like this. So it means you're old. You could be 90 years old and be young. Why? Because every time you put on tefillin, you're doing it for the first time. Rebbe Nachman says, somewhere, I haven't seen it inside, if you put on tefillin today, just because you put them on yesterday, it's cute, but you're old. Put on tefillin today because you're putting on tefillin today. Amazing. Amazing. Be new. But, yeah, it's hard. I know it's hard. Don't get old. Don't be old. Don't be old. וכל אחד נחשב בעיני עצמה כאילו כבר נזקן בדרכיו שרגיל בהם ימים רבים. So everyone thinks about themselves that they're old and they've got settled in their ways and they got habitual in their ways. עד שנדמה לו שאי אפשר לא לשוב עוד לדרך אחר. Until it becomes you don't feel that I can be different. This is who I am now. I really can't change this. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Not true. Do it. Especially if it's not an old dog. If you see yourself as an old dog, then you can't do it. That's what it means, the deeper message. Can't teach an old dog new tricks means a dog who thinks he's old, who thinks he can't learn something, you can't teach him. But a very old dog who feels young, you can teach him new tricks. ומחמד זה מייאשים את עצמם לגמרי מלהתחרב להשם יתברך. And so then you get totally despaired. I'm not going to connect to Hashem. By the way, these people are still davening Shachris, Mincha and Maariv, saying brachas and keeping Shabbos, maybe. But they don't have closeness to Hashem. Because if you really had closeness to Hashem, you'd be bouncing off the walls. You'd be walking around. You wouldn't get upset if people say something not nice to you. Oh, but he behaved so bad. So what? You're connected to God. Let him do what he likes. It's got nothing to do with you. I don't know what we're talking about. Say what he can say whatever he likes. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm connected to God. I'm tied up there. I'm sucking from the infinite source of divine consciousness. Someone comes up to you and says, "Hey man, you're like, oh, it's okay. I love you. It's fine. It's fine. So everyone's okay." ואפילו מעט העבודה והמצוות. Next page. שמקיימים הוא כמו מצוות אנשים מלומדה. And even all the mitzvahs you're doing, you're just going through the motions. ועושים אותו בלי הישרדות וחיס. You're doing it without any enthusiasm and vitality. Oh. How was your tefillin this morning? Enthusiasm and vitality? Were you bouncing off the walls? Were you like, ah? Like, ah? Or were you like, yeah, okay, I'll try and catch up. They're already in Pasukei Zimra. I'm a bit tired. I wonder what time. It's really long davening today. You got Musaf as well. And it's really long davening today. Someone said to me the other day, I can't believe it, it's a 3-day Yom Tov, 3-day Rosh Hashanah. Got 2 days of Rosh Hashanah straight into Shabbos. I'm like, I went up to my wife and said, 3 days! Imagine 3 days, no phone, no TV, not just mitzvahs, tefillah, meals with your friends and family. After a 3-day Yom Tov, it doesn't happen often in Israel, it happens often in Chutz La'aretz. In Israel, very rare. I'm like, I just want to keep going now. Let's keep going. Let's have a week-long, no phone, silent meditation, God retreat. And do it. That's why it says at the end of days, it's going to be Yom Shekulo Shabbos. A day that's always Shabbos. We're just going to be in Shabbos all the time. Shabbos. All the time. Hakol machma shezigna shekapza alehem. All because of this oldness that has grasped you. I'm old. I did it. I know. I did it. I know. Especially people who grew up religious, often very difficult to talk to them. Because they're like, I know what Judaism teaches. You're some Baal Tshuva rabbi. I would learn in Gemara whilst you were meditating in an ashram in India. And I said, you never learned Gemara in your life, my friend. Well, you read words in your life. Sorry. You read words. You didn't learn Gemara. The Arizal learned Gemara. Rav Moshe Feinstein learned Gemara. The Baal Shem and the Vilna Gaon learned Gemara. Any Gemara you ever learned, you got to understand that the Rambam and the Baal Shem Tov and Moshe Feinstein and the Arizal, they all learned that too. Unbelievable. No, I know. No, you don't. Someone said to me the other day, Rabbi, I'm really off the derech. A girl, she grew up very religious, Lakewood, Beis Yaakov girl, properly religious, now got tattoos. And I said, well, what happened? And she goes, God's an angry man in the sky, and he's going to punish me if I don't do his rules, and I got shouted at for this, and you have to kiss every mezuzah, otherwise you won't get a good shidduch. And she said, so that was just abusive. So I looked at her and I said, Baruch Hashem, you're not off the derech. She said, what do you mean I'm not off the derech? I got tattoos, got a non-Jewish boyfriend. I said, no, you're not off the derech because you were never on the derech. That's not the derech. I don't know what that is. That's not Judaism. Hashem's divine infinite consciousness that you're meant to connect to through amazing things. So be new, new, new. Shinech be'einei atzmam kazakene, they see themselves as old people. Shezeh mazik me'od me'od la'avodat Hashem. That's very, very damaging for your spiritual work. If you just go through the motions, if you're old, if you're tired, if you're just doing it. Very, very mazik. It's damaging. This is mazik. You're damaging your avodat Hashem. Ki lo miboye mi she'eino alech b'derech hayashar. Shidmeh lo ke'ilu kvar nizkan b'maaseh ve'i afshar lo lishtanot od l'toiva. Because we got this person. There's very little you can do to help someone who thinks, I can't be helped. Very little you can do to help someone who says, this is the way it is. This is who I am. This is how it is. And you want to come up to them and say, no, it's not like that. You can be different. They're like, no, I tried before. You know, I had another very inspirational rabbi. And he said I can be different. And I was for a few days, but then I fell. So I can't be. Very difficult to help that person. Many people say, how can I help this person, my friend, my cousin, my this? And I say to them, do they want to be helped? And they're like, no. And I say, well, you can't help them. Someone doesn't want to be helped or doesn't think they can be helped, very, very difficult to help them. That definitely damages beyond measure. Because you could just lose yourself completely if you don't enliven yourself to renew yourself. And this is the main part of tshuva, of returning. We don't have time now, but tomorrow we're going to carry on this amazing piece. But the main part of tshuva is knowing that I can be new. If you don't know it can work, whenever I work with anyone who's going through something difficult, I ask them, do you know that it's going to get better? Do you know you can heal from this? Sometimes they say, I'm not sure. Sometimes they say, yeah, I do. Because if you don't know it can get better, it's very hard to then be committed to doing what you need to do in order to get better. So this is Elul. Elul is just be new, start again, mess up, start again, mess up, start again. Just keep going again and again and again and again. Be new, Naaseh Adam. You've got to create yourself. Bezrat Hashem. Shabbos.